from across the nation. America's beer distributors, uniting for the 76th annual convention. This is NBWA-TV, direct from Las Vegas, Nevada. From Monday, September 30th, 2013.
And I'm Andy Field. Welcome to day 2 of the 76th annual NBWA Convention here in Las Vegas. Members are seeing nearly 300 exhibitors, and their booths cover over 110,000 square feet.
And this year, there's even a larger contingent of craft brewers. We wandered over to the trade show floor and Craft Beer Pavilion to get a taste of what's going on.
This is Rob. He's over there on the left. He's also the founder of the Fireman's Brew based in Los Angeles, California.
And we were actually on a real brush fire. Fire was coming up over the hill. We had knocked it down. Me and my partner were sitting up there. We were super thirsty, and we came up with the idea: Fireman's Brew, extinguish your thirst, ignite the party.
That was more than 10 years ago. Today he's here at the convention, hoping that distributors will stop by to taste his beers. Derek Hughes is with Great Western Distributing Company from Texas, a state Rob has yet to enter.
Any type of new, unique craft beers, that's what we're really looking for, and it's got to have a point of difference, and this definitely has a point of difference for Texas.
The game is all about distribution. You've got to be able to hook up with a good distributor that's going to get you bigger accounts. And pretty much your goal is across the United States is to do an event like what we're doing today, to meet distributors, to shake a hand, to find a new state, maybe to increase your footprint. But the game is all about having those distributors.
These guys are great guys. You can tell that they'd be really good to work with. And that's kind of what we're looking for, is good partners and brands that we think that we can take and really grow the brands.
It's all about distribution. It's all about relationships for sure.
Relationships with the wholesalers and with the beer drinkers builds a business, one sip at a time. Tala Hadavi, NBWA-TV.
Beer distributors know their markets are changing. Customers are getting older, and the biggest growth market is no longer the traditional beer buyer. Andy Field has details.
The general session audience had no idea it was about to get a master's class on who its customers are. UNC Chapel Hill professor Jim Johnson says distributors must look past the younger generation.
The aging boomer market is a $17 trillion prize. And as Judah Holtzman of AARP said, you'd have to be an idiot to turn your back on this humongous market.
Professor Johnson calls this the silver tsunami, older Americans with more buying power than cash-strapped, out-of-work millennials. And NBWA members must accommodate the market with bigger print packaging, easier-to-hold products. And while you're at it, don't make that market feel ancient.
Seniors don't like to be singled out and reminded that they are old. Remember that 60 is the new 30 and 70 is the new 40.
Market 1, boomers buying beer. Market 2, immigrants and customers who are no longer primarily white men.
We can predict, we know how your markets are going to change. We're talking about a heck of a color adjustment in our population, where in 2005, the population was 67% non-white. We think it's going to drop below 50% at about 47% by 2050. Big growth in the Hispanic population, rapid growth in the Asian population, all undergirding what I call the browning of America.
Professor Johnson encouraging distributors to embrace immigration. It is where they will find new customers and new workers. The bottom line message, distributors must go where customers are. Those customers now older and more diverse. The market's changing quickly. Professor Johnson urging distributors to change with it. I'm Andy Field, NBWA-TV. This is the NBWA Convention schedule for Tuesday, October 1st. Registration desk is open from 6:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Educational seminars, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. General session, 9 a.m. till noon. And the trade show floor opens noon to 4:30 p.m. For additional information, use the NBWA Convention app or head over to the NBWA registration desk.
With new consumers coming to the beer taps every day, NBWA wants you to get the message out that beer is more than backyard barbecues and baseball games.
At this restaurant in Washington, D.C., if it's beer, it's Meet the Press.
Rick Klein, I work for ABC News.
CBS Radio in DC, WNEW.
I'm a correspondent for Ale Street News, a beer newspaper.
Consumers right now are hungry to learn about new beers, and so that's what we're going to be talking to reporters about tonight.
This beer and food pairing event will show these guests that beer is the new wine when it comes to fine dining.
Beer's not just for barbecues anymore, simply because of the fact that a beer can taste like anything. Beer can taste like chocolate. Beer can taste like bacon. Beer can taste like any cuisine that you can throw at it. And what we do here is try to find a beer that makes everyone happy.
Local beer distributors across the nation are encouraged to invite reporters and representatives from your community to these beer pairing dinners to help educate everyone on the fact that beer can go with just about anything.
Anyone familiar with Brew Gang? Raise your hand. Okay.
The pairings, unique and somewhat unexpected.
A 12% beer with a scallop. That's really strong. That's not something that I probably would have thought of.
How about a short ribs first course with Omegang's Abbey Ale? Or pair your salad with white sage brewed Saison.
Cheers! Normally with a tuna steak, I would be having dry white wine, but tonight I'm having a full-body, creamy beer.
Craft beers are, huge right now. I would highly encourage any beer distributor across the country to get a few people for a small dinner and let them experience the wide choice and variety that is out in the marketplace for beer consumers.
You like a beer just to like it. But this kind of an event teaches you so much about the flavoring and the coloring, the smell of beers. I mean, I came here only because I wanted to learn something, and it's just blown my mind.
Blowing minds, one beer at a time. In Washington, D.C., Tala Hadavi, NBWA-TV.
Today, America's beer distributors employ 130,000 people. They need a constant supply of motivated, well-trained workers, and that is why NBWA is encouraging members to look toward the military when recruiting new employees.
They volunteered to serve our country all across the globe. And now, 130,000 soldiers each year return to the private sector.
With that number coming back each year, back into our communities, we need to step up and pay attention to that and seek them out. They're well trained, they're well qualified at all levels. They have great work ethics. That's what I've experienced, and I would encourage any of my fellow beer distributors to pay attention to this issue.
And that issue is jobs. Many returning veterans are looking for work as they acclimate back into civilian life.
Well, I think there's a couple of things that make soldiers outstanding employees. One, they've got some leadership skills that they learn while they've been in the service. They're on time. They understand what it means to be a professional, be a member of a team, contribute, get the mission accomplished. I think those are really the key factors that separate soldiers from others.
At Catsuff Companies in Annapolis, they understand.
Brad Lewis, E5, United States Navy.
Brad is one of 12 veterans working at Catsuff Company warehouses.
We think it's a great opportunity for those of us in business that always viewed the military as a sales opportunity instead of an HR opportunity. So it's been a good learning for all of us.
Penny Fowler posts available jobs at Catsuff on the Hero to Hired website.
And to post a job, you go here.
Currently, we're at about 6% of our employment base are veterans. And if this plan works the way we believe it does, based on going into the sales and administrative side of the business, I'd like to say we can double that.
He realized the value that the military experience played with that, and real life experience. You know, I was out there living it. He saw that and he took a chance on me, and I think that it's paid off for both of us.
I'd like to take an opportunity to just say thanks to the National Beer Wholesalers Association and every other employer out there that is trying to help our soldiers, our veterans, and their families to find employment, be a part of a team. Thanks for what you're doing. It makes a difference.
NBWA's Life Service Award recognizes the most talented and dedicated industry leaders, those who have worked tirelessly for America's independent beer distributors and for state alcohol regulation. Bill Olson has been a champion for Illinois distributors for the past 28 years, delivering results and serving with distinction, which is why NBWA is honoring him with its highest honor, the 2013 Life Service Award.
We couldn't be more happy about honoring Bill Olson with the Life Service Award. He has served the Associated Beer Distributors of Illinois with great distinction, with total class. Time and time again, he's been through a tough issue, and he's brought those member companies and made them stronger.
It's been said many times and never disputed that the United States has the broadest choice for consumers of alcoholic beverages in the world. And it is because of independent distributors. We've just fought a battle in Springfield, the result being that they recognize the independent distributor is the only way to keep competition viable in the marketplace. When new craft brewers apply for a license, we talk to our distributors and say, go out and meet those people. Tell them that when they're ready to distribute, you're ready to distribute their beer for them. And that's a big help, because otherwise they start to think that nobody cares about them. And to know that ready, willing, and able beer distributors are there to say, I'll help you get into the market, and I'll help you grow, and I'll help you make a living being a craft brewer.
And as one distributor said, it's difficult to make a case for an independent three-tiered system when one tier is able to own or control another. And Bill's work in that arena has been great, and I think the distributors in that state are stronger because of his leadership.
Now, why did I stay? Because it's a fascinating industry, but most of all, it's the people. The people in this industry that I work for are primarily the owners of their businesses. And in the association business, if you can have a board of directors that is as knowledgeable about their industry as owners are about their business, then you can really represent that industry and have a good, clear direction.
Every time I meet one of these guys, whether it be here in Chicago or whether it be in Springfield, they're always telling me what a great job Bill Olson is doing for our association. And it's just fantastic to know we've got that kind of support down there.
We always enjoy hearing that we're doing a good job, and I've been fortunate enough to have that message sent to us by our members. But I'm the type of person that always looks forward to the next challenge. I love and thrive on challenges that people say, oh, that can't be done. And I say, yes, it can be done.
Here are the educational sessions for Tuesday, October 1st. All seminar information can be found using the Convention app or at the NBWA registration desk.
I'm Andy Field.
And I'm Tala Hadavi. We will see you tomorrow for our third and final show of the 76th NBWA Convention. Cheers!
You've been watching NBWA-TV from the 76th Annual Convention and Trade Show in Las Vegas.